Just 5 months after the release of its Mate 20 Pro, Huawei, the fastest growing smartphone company in the world, has shown the world another $1,000 phone that this time promises to rewrite the rules of photography, the P30 Pro. Hello guys, Vic Christoph with PhoneArena here, and this is our review of the Huawei P30 Pro and its more compact sibling, the P30. Now, starting with the design, both phones come in a selection of 5 different colors. You have a classic black, a classic white, and while those look good, the colors that really stand out are the Amber Sunrise Red, which is a bold orangey shade of red, and then the Breathing Crystal Gradient with color flowing from white to blue, and finally our favorite, the Aurora Blue and Green Gradient that we have up for review. The main difference between the P30 models lies in the size, camera, and batteries. The P30 Pro also features a 6.47-inch AMOLED display that tapers around the sides, while the regular P30 has a 6.1-inch AMOLED screen that is completely flat. The tapered edges on the Pro do make it look better, but the flat screen on the regular one means you get less accidental touches when using it. There is also curiously no headphone jack on the Pro model, and not even a headphone jack adapter included in the box with the phone, while you do have a jack on the regular version, so here's one advantage of the smaller model. Huawei does include one feature that you can rarely find anywhere else, an IR blaster on the P30 Pro. Located at the top of the phone, it allows you to use the phone as a remote control for your TV, AC, or whatever other compatible gadget you have. One more thing, the Pro is IP68 water protected, which means it can survive drops in water of up to 6 feet deep, while the P30 will still survive a few drops of rain, but doesn't have any special water resistance rating. Up front, you have a fingerprint scanner embedded in the screen on these phones. It's an optical fingerprint on both and is the fastest of the under-screen fingerprints that we have ever used, which is not a very high bar to clear. We have found that the optical fingerprint scanners on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro and the OnePlus 60 are not very accurate, and you often get failed readings, while here in the P30 series you get much better results. You also get a camera-based face recognition, but this is nowhere nearly as secure as 3D face recognition. And it's a shame that such a feature is missing. Well, at least you cannot easily fool the P30 series with a photo, like you can do with the Galaxy S10. In terms of software, both of these phones run on Huawei's latest EMUI 9.1, which uses Android 9 as a base. Huawei has been improving this interface, adding new icons and making it overall cleaner and faster. Don't expect the fluid, smooth transitions and animations that you get on Google's Pixel phones or on an iPhone, but the speed is certainly here, as everything opens in an instant. Under the hood, the P30 series are both powered by Huawei's in-house Kirin 980 chip. The P30 Pro ships with 8 GB of RAM, while the P30 has 6 GB of RAM. What we love about both phones is that you get a plentiful 128 GB of onboard storage, enough for your photos and videos. Now, the P30 Pro wants to rewrite the rules of photography, and if you look at the photos, you see why. Which other phone can achieve super clear zoom at 5 times and even 10 times, and you can even push it with a digital zoom of up to 50 times. Now, with the smaller P30 you don't get a periscope camera that allows all the magic to happen on the Pro, but you still get digital zoom of up to 30 times. Now, as cool as zooming is on a phone, you will still take most of your photos with the main camera. Both the P30 Pro and the P30 share a new 40-megapixel super spectrum sensor. For years, phones and cameras have used one red, one blue, and 2 green pixels to create the colors you see in images and video, but Huawei changes that, and instead of the green pixels, it uses yellow ones. Now, the yellow color allows the camera sensor to capture 40% more light, and it makes the camera more sensitive to shades of red. So, how do images actually turn out? Oh, quite good. You get pleasing colors and a nice and a sharp look. Take a look at a few photos captured on the P30 and the P30 Pro. There is no difference in the main cameras on these phones. Now, you do also get an ultra wide-angle camera on both the P30 and the P30 Pro. The one on the Pro is a little bit better, but the difference is not huge. We love having a wide camera to get some shots in tight spaces, and it's one more advantage over the iPhones and the Google Pixels. Still, you should know that the ultra wide-angle shots are not quite as good in pure quality as photos with the main camera. What really impresses, however, is how bright images from the P30 series come out at night. You get a bright image even when there are no lights turned on, and it often looks better than what you can get with Google Pixel's night sight. Really impressive. Again, shooting when there's no good light is definitely not something you use every day, but it's cool to have this kind of night camera performance nonetheless. On the video side, you have 4K 30 video support, but no 60 frames per second video recording, and that seems to be a limitation on the side of the Kirin chip used here. And it's a bit of a shame, but not a deal breaker. Video recording quality, however, is quite good, and you have less noise in videos shot in low light. Huawei's AIS stabilization works well too, and it is able to eliminate a lot of the shake and jitter of handheld footage. You can also shoot at 5x zoom with the periscope camera, and you get quite an impressive stabilization there too. Now in terms of sound, the P30 Pro comes with one loudspeaker located on the bottom of the phone, and it sounds good but not great. And this is the one area where we feel that rivals like the iPhones or Samsung's Galaxies have the upper hand, as they deliver much more in terms of pure volume and richness of the sound. In an attempt to save every fraction of an inch to make the P30 Pro as compact as possible, Huawei has done away with the traditional in-call speaker and is instead now using a brand new system that vibrates the screen to produce sound. It's a fancy new magnetic suspension system that translates vibrations into sound when you press your ear against the top portion of the screen. This is plain cool tech, but it also works well. Calls sound clear and crisp, and they're more discreet, not transmitted to everyone around. Now the P30 Pro sports a massive 4200 mAh battery inside, bigger than most of the competition. So how is the actual battery life? Now you probably would not be surprised to hear that it's great. With moderate use, we are getting about 2 days on a single charge, more than you can get with most other phones. And the P30 Pro also sports 40-watt fast charging in the box. You can get a 0 to 70% charge in just 30 minutes. You also have support for fast wireless charging via the Qi standard. The regular P30 has 22.5 watt fast charging, which is not quite as fast, but still sufficient, especially when you consider that the P30 has a smaller sized battery. So let's sum things up. The Huawei P30 Pro is a flagship level $1,000 phone with a good looking design, a fast but somewhat quirky interface, zippy performance, great specs, outstanding battery life, and a camera that captures good looking photos most of the time. The biggest disappointment is that you cannot get this phone in the US. We also didn't like the loudspeaker quality, and since this is a non-Google Android phone, you don't even know when will you get updates after a year or so. But this doesn't diminish its value. The regular P30 on the other hand makes just a few compromises with the camera and is another solid device with a more compact screen. And this wraps up our review of the new P30 and the P30 Pro. Let us know your thoughts about these phones in the comments, smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you next time, right here on PhoneArena.